Meet Sarah. She's the volunteer coordinator at the Metro Youth Alliance, and right now, she's drowning in the logistics of altruism. Managing youth-focused volunteers involves a level of risk that doesn't exist in standard community service. When an organization works with children, they inherit a complex web of legal and psychological liabilities that require constant, meticulous oversight. David is a prospective volunteer who wants to mentor a teenager. He's passed his initial interview, but his start date is buried under a backlog of paper applications and manual data entry. Sarah's organization is caught in the budget-driven trap. To save money on administrative overhead, the board chose the cheapest, disconnected tools available, leaving Sarah to coordinate complex mentorships through a mix of spreadsheets and text messages. That low-cost software license carries a high price in human capital. Research shows that while a fragmented system might only cost $1,000 a year to own, it generates over $23,000 in hidden labor costs. For Sarah, that translates to 12 hours every week spent cross-referencing checks by hand. That's nearly 2 full workdays stolen from the mission every week. When administrative friction keeps Sarah at her desk, it keeps David off the schedule. For the youth on the waitlist, this means the adult they were promised doesn't show up because the software couldn't clear the file. By prioritizing a low subscription price over operational flow, the organization has inadvertently created a bottleneck that stops their mentorship program from reaching the kids who need it most. To break that bottleneck, Sarah's team transitions to Highbox for nonprofits, a unified operating system. Now David completes his intake through a secure digital portal that feeds directly into the organization's central database. For one-on-one mentorship, premier organizations like Big Brothers Big Sisters require a high-barrier intake, including 4 references and months of training. Contrasting with episodic volunteering's lower screening threshold, the background check intensity must correlate directly to a volunteer's level of unsupervised access. Highbox's compliance module monitors these requirements in real time. The moment David's criminal searches and reference checks are verified, the system updates his profile automatically, moving him from a pending file to an active mentor. If a background check or a mandatory reporter certificate is set to expire, the system triggers an automatic alert and locks the volunteer out of the schedule until the record is updated. Moving these records off paper and into a unified database means compliance is handled as a continuous background process, rather than a frantic manual search during an audit. A clean background check doesn't account for the subtle, incremental erosion of professional distance known as boundary drift. This is the invisible process where a mentor moves from healthy empathy toward compromised or unsafe behavior. To manage this, Sarah assigns David mandatory, role-specific modules through the platform's integrated learning management system. Before his first session, he has to complete training on trauma-informed care and boundary maintenance. To prevent compassion fatigue, organizations must limit volunteers to 12-hour work weeks and mandate post-shift debriefing sessions. By also integrating stress management and grief support into their architecture, agencies protect the mental health of their team and keep volunteers engaged long-term. Today, David uses a secure internal dashboard to track his tasks and log his hours. This keeps all communication within the agency's encrypted environment, replacing the risk of unmonitored text message threats. Integrating training and shift tracking into a single interface ensures that safety protocols and ethical checks are baked into the daily routine, rather than treated as one-time orientation topics. 6 months later, Metro Youth Alliance is selected for a high-stakes state funder audit. In the past, this meant days of panic. Now, Sarah pulls data from the background check module, the training logs, and the time tracking system into a single report with one click. The human return on investment is immediate. By removing the administrative friction of 3 systems, Sarah has recovered 16 hours of her week. She is now repurposing those 2 days of recovered time to mentor David and expand the program's capacity to serve more youth. Strategic digital transformation allows a nonprofit to move its resources away from administrative survival and back toward the mission it was built to achieve. Stop letting fragmented tools limit your impact. Visit highbox.co to schedule a demo and unify your organization today.